This video is sponsored by Brewdog Fellowship Pale Ale. Kinda. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the Shire 3D printers were printing. Bilbo sat by the fire. 3D printing is cheating, but it's that time of year where you'd rather be drinking and having good cheer. And if you must craft but you just have no time, the odd 3D print is generally fine. You still get to hobby whilst you have time for a sherry, and by the time it's all printed, well, you'll be tiddly and merry. Okay, that's enough of the Christmas poetry. No way I can keep that going for the rest of the whole video. I don't really know what I'm doing posting a video on Christmas anyway, a notoriously bad day for traffic on YouTube, but I just wanted to squeeze in one last build before I stuff my face by way of Yuletide feasting. Also, I really wanted to make a build with these awesome Hobbit House STL files, which were designed by my good friend Neil from Real Terrain Hobbies. Neil created files for loads of little hobbit holes and built the entire Shire as a gaming board last year, and it was such a cool project. If you haven't seen it, I will leave a link in the description below this video and you can check it out for yourself. Epic stuff. As part of that project, Neil launched a Kickstarter for the STL files within this build, meaning that you can print off your own little hobbit holes and create a diorama Bilbo would be proud of. Anyway, this video mostly came about because I've spent a lot of time on my channel focusing on big builds, epic builds, trying to outbuild myself, and to be honest, I got a little bit burnt out towards the end of the year. YouTube has no clue how much effort you put into a video, and quite frankly, it doesn't care. So often you feel like you have come up short on your hopes and expectations for your latest epic project. For me, when I get into this kind of negative headspace, I find I just need a build to relax into and enjoy in all its simplicity, and there's nothing more simple than the Shire. In fact, one of my favourite quotes of all time comes from Tolkien himself, who said, "It is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life." And I think that is something that I often forget. I don't know, maybe you do too. We live in a world that is increasingly busy, and in the age of social media, we are bombarded with perspectives and pressures to succeed at all costs. If you're not driving and working hard towards a goal, you might be perceived as lazy. Or if you don't have a ton of money, or you are not really good looking, you might not be perceived as a high value human being by complete idiots. And every so often we need to be reminded that all of these pressures and expectations are a load of old codswallop, quite frankly. That's why I love the Shire, the place I hope to one day retire and sit and drink pale ale by a warm winter fire. Oops, I kind of fell back into the poetry there for a sec. But the Shire and the lifestyle of the hobbits, for me, is still the true ideal. Simple, quiet and peaceful, with a community of people that help and support each other with no great aspirations for individual greatness. You might say that my head is in the clouds about that, and you're probably right, but it seems to me that this world just isn't satisfied by the glitz and glamour. Everybody wants more of things that clearly don't satisfy, because if they did satisfy, well, you wouldn't want more. How does this translate for me, you might ask? Well, when I'm not paying attention and keeping myself in check, I find myself getting sucked into the mindset of more subscribers, more viewers, more clout, and I spend an enormous amount of time pouring myself into projects and forgetting just to enjoy the journey. Just enjoy the projects I make and don't pay attention to the loftier goals. Those things will all come in good time if they are meant to be, and if they don't, well, I at least want to enjoy the process of trying to get there. And that means letting it all go, surrendering it and saying to myself, it is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life. Besides, striving for those lofty goals often takes me away from other things that I love, like family, friends, playing music, jiu-jitsu, so many things that I find peace in. I don't want to be a powerful leader of men corrupted by the draw of the one ring. I want to be like a hobbit, simple and at peace, with time to watch and enjoy the world go by. I don't know, maybe all of the events of the last couple of years has played a big part into feeding that success and drive-based anxiety that so many people seem to be feeling. Lockdowns and isolation gave a massive drive towards connection through social media, which at first seemed really positive, but then it slowly takes you over. People have become focused on unrealistic ideals, unachievable goals, which we are told anyone can achieve, which just isn't true. Anyway, just before I carry on with my idealistic musings, everyone knows that the one thing that hobbits enjoy the most is good cheer, and that is usually accompanied by a bit of Old Toby or Longbottom Leaf and some fine ale. When I saw that Brewdog had released their new Fellowship Pale Ale, of course I had to give it a try, and because I'm a total chancer, I sent them an email, kind of as a throwaway joke, but much to my pleasant surprise, they responded and sent me out 24 cans of the stuff. I'm not sure my wife was too happy about it, but to say I was happy is a little bit of an understatement. I told Brewdog that I would be honest and tell you guys what I thought of the beer, and I am under no obligation to make a good review. I'm not getting paid, I just got some free beer. Gladly, I can honestly say that Fellowship Pale Ale is one of the nicest pale ales I have tasted. I don't know, maybe it tastes nicer because it has Lord of the Rings written on the can, but I genuinely really like it. And these 24 cans probably won't last the Christmas holidays. If you have an evening in painting up your Middle Earth strategy battle game armies, or you're out with friends for game night playing through the Battle of Pelennor Fields, then a few cans of tasty on-brand pale ale really would go along quite nicely. Okay, back to my musings on the laid-back approach of the life of the Shire. Where was I? Oh yeah. I don't want it to sound like that I'm saying that working hard and striving for goals doesn't get you anywhere. Of course, hard work pays off and many people can and will achieve incredible and wonderful things over this next year. Who knows, maybe you will, and I sincerely hope that you do. But I think that it's also good to temper all of that with you are already good enough. You have value, you are not insignificant, just as you are, and any great achievements that bring fleeting praise and satisfaction are just nice little bonuses along the way. I'm sure that there are some highly driven people out there who'd hear what I'm saying and write it off as acceptance of less, which it is to a certain degree, but I also think that those people might live a life where they are never truly satisfied because they always want more. Anyway, I really don't know how I ended up making this video about some kind of Shire-based philosophy. Truth be told, I'm sat here at 2:30 in the morning drinking pale ale at my wife's parents' house for Christmas and I just started writing. When I started, I thought I was going to be doing the usual tutorial-based video like, and this is how I paint brickwork and stone, exactly as you can see me doing on the screen. But instead, we have somehow ended up here. Who knows, maybe in the morning I will rewrite the script and post you guys a standard video script that I think will get me loads of views and likes. Nah, I'm sticking to this script. It's Christmas. It's time for a bit of good old cheesy feel-good stuff. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but over the years, Christmas has become less and less of a feel-good season with goodwill to all men. The world is becoming a little bit more cynical. Bah, humbug kind of thing. Not me, I'm still a bit of a daydreamer, and I spend my time at Christmas thinking good things about people, trying to be nice to people, and just make an effort to make it all a little bit cozy and nice. If you think that's silly, well, you are entitled to your opinion. I'd far rather think like Sam Gamgee and know that there is some good in the world and it is worth fighting for. 2022 for me has been an absolutely brilliant year. I've completed so many cool projects that I've had floating around in my head for ages and made some cool videos too, and the channel has grown. But I can honestly say that the best part has been getting to know people within the hobby community. I've made loads of great friends, had hobby hangouts, done live streams and generally just pitched in and had fun with my fellow hobbyists. But honestly, anything I do here on this channel really wouldn't be possible without the help and support of my amazing wife Lucy. She really does put up with a lot of crafty mess. I mean, if you saw our kitchen on the average day, you would laugh. Thanks Lucy, I really appreciate your support. Alongside all of that, I really enjoyed this last year with my little family. My daughter is 4 now and she's at big school and doing great, and I'm really proud that she is also super creative. I forgot to film whenever I was sprinkling on the static grass. I just sprinkled on because there's another layer to go of something else. One thing that I want to do more and more of is to get my daughter involved with crafting and model making. She already loves it and is taking to it like a duck to water. So I invited her to join me for the last section of this build and she was an awesome help. What do you think?
Great.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
So I want to make it into a Christmassy diorama. How do you think I could make it more Christmassy?
Add some snow.
You want to add some snow?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to help me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So we need to make some texture snow paste.
Okay.
Alright.
And is it done?
Well, we need to add some white paint and then mix the paint in as well, okay? That should probably be enough.
I think my hands are going to get really messy today.
Your hands are going to get messy? No. We'll just be really careful.
It looks like mayonnaise.
Yummy mayonnaise.
No, I'm just kidding. It isn't mayonnaise.
I know it's not mayonnaise. We would need that. Okay, squeeze the paint in. There we go. Alright.
Now can I mix?
Yeah, mix it all together.
Wow. It's really slimy.
Oops, I forgot to film us adding the texture paste to the model. Dope. After the paste goes down, I also spray some adhesive spray. We're going to spray over the whole project.
You're doing some on the chimney.
Yep, I want some on the chimney. So we're going to come back. We have to leave that for 10 minutes to dry. And then we're going to come back and put some more on. Okay, with my hobbit hole pretty much complete, I wanted to add a few final Christmassy touches, and I started to think. You know the way at the end of The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf sails off to the Undying Lands, and then after that there isn't much written about him? Well, I have a theory. Gandalf is actually Santa, and every year he travels back to the Shire when no one is looking and drops presents down the chimneys of happy little hobbits smoking their pipes after a feast of good food and pale ale. But what about St. Nicholas, you say? Well, I think the whole story of St. Nicholas is a big conspiracy concocted by the Illuminati. Gandalf is Santa. Now you know, make sure to tell all of your children the truth from now on. There is still hope. Swiftly moving on. Guys, I just want to say a huge thank you and a happy Christmas to anyone who has watched my videos, left a like and a comment, or even shared my content over the last year. And I especially want to thank all of my patrons, old and new. Your support has kept the channel alive, I mean genuinely. Most of the materials I use in my builds have been paid for through the monthly support that I get from you guys, and it really means the world to me. I've also really loved hanging out with you all over on Discord, and I plan to do lots more of that in the new year. I know it's been a bit quiet over the last month, but yeah, YouTube burnout is real. Lastly, I want to give a big thanks to Neil from Real Terrain Hobbies for sending me the Hobbit Hole STL files, and also for all of the encouragement and support with my channel over the last year. I hope you and the family have a wonderful Christmas together. And that's it. Happy Christmas to one and all, and to all a good night. Oh, and a huge thanks to Brewdog for sponsoring this video with beer. If you fancy any future collaborations, I would happily oblige. You know my address, send me more beer. And just one last thing, if anyone wants to give me a Christmas present, you could watch this video next. I think it's my best one and it didn't do quite as well as I had hoped, so it would be really lovely if you watch it. Alright guys, happy Christmas, bye.